the king want the miller's daughter to come to the castle, and how do you know? In this lesson, you will learn how to refer to the text when answering a question by rereading and identifying key details. We've been reading the fairy tale Rumpelstiltskin. This story is from a group of fairy tales collected by two brothers, Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm, around the year 1820. Rumpelstiltskin tells the story of a miller's daughter who is given the impossible task of spinning a pile of straw into gold. A little man comes along to help her with the task. You have learned that readers ask questions to help themselves understand what they read. As we read fiction, we think about the story and ask ourselves questions about the events that are occurring. We might ask who questions, what questions, when questions, where, why, or how questions. The key details, which are the important events or ideas in the story, help readers to answer the questions we have. As I read and pay attention to the key details, I can find the answers to most of my questions. I might think, that's what that means. Or, okay, that's why she said that. Today we are going to explore answering a question by rereading and identifying key details by following 3 steps. First, we reread the section that is related to the question. Second, we ask ourselves, what words in this section help me to answer the question, and we highlight those words. Third, we ask ourselves, how do these words help me answer the question? Then we jot down our thinking. Our question is, why does the king want the miller's daughter to come to the castle, and how do you know? To answer this question, we will focus on the first 2 paragraphs of Rumpelstiltskin. First, we reread the first 2 paragraphs, which are the sections related to the questions. I will reread those now. By the side of a wood in a country a long way off ran a fine stream of water, and upon the stream there stood a mill. The miller's house was close by, and the miller, you must know, had a very beautiful daughter. She was, moreover, very shrewd and clever. One day, having to go to speak with the king, the miller said, in order to make himself look important, that he had a daughter who could spin straw into gold. Now this king was very fond of money, and when he heard the miller's boast, his greediness was raised, and he thought to himself, that is an art which would please me very well. And so he said to the miller, if your daughter is so very clever, bring her to the castle in the morning, and I will put her to the proof. Next, we have to ask ourselves what words in these paragraphs help us to answer the question of why the king wanted the miller's daughter to come to the castle. Let's see. In the first paragraph, we learn that the miller tells the king that his daughter can spin straw into gold. This tells me something special that the daughter can do. I'll highlight that. In the next sentence, I see that the king was very fond of money. Fond means like, so I know that the king likes money. I'll highlight that too. The king also says that he will put her to the proof. That tells me he wants her to prove that she can spin the straw into gold. I'll highlight that part too. Finally, we need to ask ourselves, how do these words help me answer the question? And then write down what we're thinking. Okay, my notes say that the daughter can spin straw into gold. The king likes money, and I know that gold is like money. And the king wants the daughter to prove that she really can spin straw into gold. These words help me answer the question because they tell me the reason the king wants the daughter to come to the castle, and they were directly from the story. So to answer the question, why does the king want the miller's daughter to come to the castle, and how do you know? I begin with the reason the king wants the daughter to come. That is, the king wants the miller's daughter to come to the castle so that she will spin some gold for him. Then I tell how I know. I finish off with, I know this because it says that he is very fond of money, and gold is like money. Also, the king wants the daughter to prove that she can really spin straw into gold. I know this because he says, I will put her to the proof. Today we used 3 steps to guide us to answer a question. First, we reread the section that related to the question. Second, we asked ourselves what words in the section helped us to answer the question, and we highlighted those words. And third, we asked how the words helped us answer the question. Then we wrote down our thoughts. In this lesson, you have learned how to refer to the text when answering a question by rereading and identifying key details.